Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a brew built around warp cards in combination with the new Leyline Weaver, which is 2 mana for a 2/2 reach. You can add red or green, and whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, you untap this creature. So this works really well with warp creatures because a lot of them have mana value 4 or greater. However, you can warp them in for 2 or 3 mana and then get to untap this and maybe warp in another thing or cast another spell. This deck actually has a turn 3 kill in it without using any rares. The only rares in this deck are in the mana base. I wanted the mana base to be a little bit more consistent because you do need specific colors of mana on turn 1 and then on later turns to make this happen. But this has a turn 3 kill, which is the Leyline Weaver. On to turn 3, warp in the Bygone Colossus, which untaps this. And then you get another mana to either Wild Ride it or Full Bore it to give it +3 power and haste. Full Bore is a little better because it gives it trample as well. You attack for 12, and then you fling with the final mana for 12 more. For 24 damage, turn 3, no rares. It is possible. So we'll see if it happens in our games. We also got Llanowar Elves for mana acceleration. We've got Cunning Coyote to give things haste. Again, the fling, the burn together. Can't cast the other side, but it's just a fling. The other warp cards we have are the Fatemaker. We've got some of these team leaders and the Germinating Wurm. All of these kind of work well with trying to give things haste, fling them. These are big power creatures that you want to fling and give haste to. And then the other card we got is the Cactusfolk Sureshot, which is 4 mana for 4/4 reach ward 2. And it says at the beginning of combat, other creatures you control with power 4 greater gain trample and haste until end turn. So that works with all of our warp cards. If we warp in, say, the Bygone Colossus, gives it trample and haste. The Worm gives it trample and haste. This gives other things trample, but it can give itself 4 power if you target itself with the counter. So that can work with this, and then also this with 4 power. So all these things work kind of well together. You can even play this on 2 and then this on 3, and then you have an extra mana up to give it haste if you wanted to with Wild Ride, something like that. So there's a lot of cool, interesting kind of play patterns with this deck. And again, no rares, just in the mana base here. You could even just go all basics, but I wanted a little bit more consistency in my mana base, especially if we have Llanowar Elves on 1 and then trying to get like double red for pumping and flinging on another turn. But yeah, that is the combo. So let's jump some games and see it in action. A huge thank you to all my viewers who have joined my channel membership. I really appreciate all the support. Members get badges, emotes, and early access to all my videos. Click the link in the description below the video to join and get these perks today. All right, opponent goes first. We got Pump, we got a Fling, and we got a Warp card. All right, we'll try it. It's not great, but could definitely use like a Llanowar Elves or something else. All right. Okay. So nothing really to do right now, but next turn we can warp, and we kind of probably want to fling this thing eventually. So we could warp in like this and attack. All right, some good surveils for them. Keeps it on top. Oh, okay, doesn't keep it on top. Weird, alright. Alright, so this turn we'll go for this thing, I think. Play this. And target itself. And we'll Wild Ride it. And then swing for 7. Okay. And then next turn, if we're not dead, we can go warp, full bore, and we can fling it. That's the hope. Could also play this or this, but yeah. That is our plan. Okay. A lot of surveilling going on for them. Go down to 8, yep. And land. Okay, yeah, I think this should be enough. I'm going to make sure we tap both the forests to go warp this in. Gain some life. Full bore. And swing. And trample over. 4. And then getcha for 8. Nice. All right. Got there. Sweet, sweet. On to the next one. All right. Opponent goes first. Yeah, this is a good hand. This is the potential turn 3 win if we can draw. I think we need another red source for that to be the case. Sleight of hand. So maybe some. Is it prowess? Not sure. That's a cool island. Final Fantasy. Nice. Okay. Or mono blue tempo of some kind. Another sleight of hand. Okay. And draw a card. Okay. That is a lot of card draw. So actually, I think this is fine. We can, if we float red mana with this thing, should be okay. Yeah, and they're tapping out, so I think this is a turn 3 win with all commons and uncommons here. Okay, so what we have to do is float red and make sure we don't use it. Yeah, use all the green. Warp this in. And then red mana. Oh wait, not red mana. Sorry, undo. Use the red mana to full bore. And then attack. And then we fling. Even if they block, this as trample. Yeah, turn 3 win. No rares needed. Sweet, sweet. Nice. On to the next one. GG. Alright, opponent goes first. Yep, we'll give this a shot. Alright. Top patch recruits. Let's go tap land and pass. See what they got. Quest caller, okay. Alright, ooh, there's the Weaver. Let's do that on 2. Then we can get out the Sureshot, maybe? see what they do. Could block the recruit, I guess. Cavern of Souls on Rabbit. Don't hate that. Sure, let's do it. Just take it out, save some life. Alright, and go Llanowar Elves, maybe plot the Coyote. So we can go Sureshot next turn. There's another quest caller. Okay, still stuck on 2 lands. Down to 11. Alright, well... Sureshot. Do we have to just hold it back on defense? We're at 11. No, let's attack. Let's swing. Alright, sweet. Because we can do a lot of damage. We can threaten a lot of damage on the way back here. Okay, they kick the Paw Patch recruit. It's going to get a lot of scries. Okay. And keep on top. Good, good. Swings on in. But these don't give trample necessarily. We could just do a chump block. Just take the hit. There's a land. Alright, so let's see. This is 4. This only pumps. This says, at the beginning of combat, other creatures control power 4 or greater gain trample. Okay. So I could pump this. And I can pump this. And attack with everything. Or I can do this and pump one of these again. That's 3 additional damage. Attack for 5. 6, 7, 8. Maybe they won't block one of them if I do like this. Tap a creature. Target a creature. Alright, now we attack with both. And they did not block, so now that is exactly 15. Wow, okay. Got there, got there. Alright, on to the next one. Sweet, sweet. Alright, going first, and we got all 4 Llanowar Elves in our opening hand. What are the chances of that? Not very high. This hand is not very good, though. I think I'm going to mulligan it. There's no way to give this haste. If it did, it would be pretty good. And it has only green mana in it. So, this looks much better. What do I want to put back, though? Kind of want to keep all the mana. Either the Wild Ride or the Sureshot. Let's put back the Wild Ride. Because this can give this haste and also be a threat. So that should be okay. Alright, we'll go Elf into Weaver, into Sureshot, into this, hopefully. Alright, Weaver. And swing. Chocobo. Nice. Okay. Mosswood Dread Knight, sure. So we can play out this. If we had a land, we could even play out another one of, or play out one of these, but don't want to trade that off, so we'll do it like this, and then creature, sure. There's a coyote. Okay, now we can do a whole bunch of stuff, right? Because we can do, let's see, we can do this thing. Got to target itself to give it haste, or this has to be power 4 or greater, right? So we can do this thing with warp and untap, target itself, and then we can do Colossus with warp, and then we can swing, at least with these. Yeah, let's hold back the Sureshot. I don't want to trade it with the creature. Alright. Sweet, sweet. Trample over. Clear their board. And pass the turn. That was nice. So we can do this one, warp into play, and plot, or play the coyote. Bitter Triumph with ward. Okay, they have to pay the ward there. Okay, nice. Wow, and Wild Ride. So is that enough? If we do, let's see, let's warp this thing. Oh, did I not warp it? I meant to warp it. That's too bad. Okay. Well, we'll give it haste. Anyways, yeah, sure. Swing for 7. Okay, well, it's in play now, and we have a haster. Still looking good, unless they can deal with everything. Okay, get rid of the elf. And they need another removal spell. I need 2 more removal spells. Well, that actually does save them, technically, because they can block this. Oh, wait, no. This should be Xaxes, because it pumps its power. Alright, sweet. Got there. Nice, nice. On to the next one. Alright, opponent goes first. Let's try this one out. There is Llanowar Elves, but we can't cast it on turn 1. It's unfortunate. Okay. I think they're holding up removal. Whatever. They probably are. But the fact that we have another one, I just want to use my mana, because if I draw like another land, I can play both of these. Nope. Okay, now do I think they have more removal? Let's put out the Llanowar Elves, see if they do. No? Okay. I'm certain they, well, okay, they do. That's -3/-3, so that doesn't save it. Alright. Alright, I'm just always getting punished for not drawing lands. Meat Hook Massacre. Okay. Well, what can I do here? I can play a Colossus and then give it haste and attack. That's not bad. I can play this. I can play both of these. For some reason. I think I just like the Colossus line. And we'll just go Wild Ride. Swing. That gives me the nice, yep. So I can do it again with the full bore here. What's this do? Each player, whenever a creature dies. Alright, well, I think we just try to do it again. They are not really responding to anything, so. Yeah. Alright, well, I got there, I guess. GG. On to the next one. Alright, opponent goes first. This hand does look good. So I think I'll try it. Well, it needs, let's see, it needs a Llanowar Elves, some mana acceleration, because this is like the combo, but it's 4 mana to do. So, yeah. We could do this and this and this, but I think we just save all this for the turn 4, or sorry, turn 5. It's 5 mana to do all that. Turn 5 win? Let's see what we draw. Alright, Marauding Mako. Another... Maybe this is gonna look weird, but I think what we do is just warp this in and pump it and then fling this at here. Just for the 2-for-1 ourselves for a removal spell. I think it's worth it. Because this thing is just gonna kill us if we don't do that. Okay, Soul Cauldron. And Quantum Riddler, okay. Draws a card. Put a, oh, it's got Vivi in there. Oh, I didn't see that they put Vivi in there. Okay, well that is not good, because now they have tons of mana. Okay, and it looks like they're not going to use the mana, though. Alright, well, hey, we got a Coyote. Can't play this. We could play this as a blocker. And pass. Hope not to die. Because we can do some good stuff here. With the Colossus, I don't know if it's gonna be enough. If they create like a huge board, this is only 12, it's 24 damage. Okay, another Riddler. Sure, okay. Guess I could have plotted this maybe last turn. Alright. Gonna do that. Now they have tons of mana. Yeah, Winter Night Stories. Sure. Okay. Mako. So they've used this one and that one. Another Quantum Riddler, sure. Draw a card. Winter Night Stories. Again. And then they're going to get more mana potentially on this other Mako. Because this is at, I don't even know. Yep. Put counters. And they could tap. Yeah, okay, there's the mana. Let them do their thing. Into the Floodmaw. There it goes. Another Mako. 8 counters on anything. So our only hope here is that they somehow just decide not to block this thing. But we'll see. So let's do this. Warp this in. Give it haste. And attack. Come on, don't block. No. Oh. Alright. Okay. Well. We tried. We do have the fling, and we might as well use it. They played around it well. But now we're just dead. GG. Alright, welcome back to the wrap-up for our Leyline Weaver Warp combo. This was pretty sweet, pretty fun. And I was able to get a turn 3 win in one of my games, which is awesome, so that was cool. How competitive is this deck? I don't know. I wouldn't say it's super high tier. I mean, again, you're only playing 8 rares in the mana base, and nothing else is rare, so I wouldn't say it's super competitive. I had about 50% win rate with this deck, give or take. So I did win, you know, some, as you saw in the games, but the losses were just kind of boring, a control deck. Just, you know, killing all your stuff, and not very entertaining, but certainly a challenging matchup against sort of like that Jeskai control deck. What changes would I make? I think the mana base could obviously be improved with more rare lands. If you have any of the starting towns or multiversal passages, I think especially the passage, I would play 4 of those. Some of the starting towns maybe. Other cards I thought is the Nova Hellkite could be pretty good in this list. If you have any of those, I would substitute those probably for this guy and maybe some of these. You could mix it up and have some higher quality warp threats with the Nova Hellkite. But let me know in the comments below if you have any other ideas for this deck, anything that could improve it with rares or just with commons or uncommons. If you have any thoughts, hope you enjoyed the brew. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.